Radio Echenglo so that we may be one through the cross. Good afternoon with the menus. I'm Kennedy Mbeo Jr. The headlines. Chief Dennis Shimukonami speaks on dry spell. Poor sanitation gateways Boch Township Wari residents. Add first aid training to the driving lessons. Kindly be informed that we are also streaming live on the Radio Echenglo Facebook page to you following us on social media. The details. Chieftainess Shimukonami of the Lamba, speaking people in Lufanyama district on the Copper Belt, says that no one in her chiefdom is allowed to cut trees unnecessarily. The traditional leader has also told Radio Echenglo News that the previous government promised to plant trees in the chiefdom. The move, she said, has never materialized. The chieftainess has noted that the cutting down of trees has largely contributed to the dry spell, which she said has affected farming activities. She has since called on her subjects to pray for the rains while expressing fear that the chiefdom may experience hunger next farming season if the prevailing situation continues.
Sasa tumine kwa wachima pepo ba mungu basi mwe wachima pepo tende tuikale panchi hapa chimbishi tungachi chala kwa kuika kama mapepo tubeshe bali tabatele kandi padisi tubipishe kwabo kubipishe kutuishi ba twalongo bwelero kumbita tuishi bali shira kumo ba forest ko batyo mwe kumu muletera amapeni aya amarasha nebo nalise na nebo pali wangine shukunani nebo sio shidatu japo pakuti wewe ne ba forest maona ulaka lento ando kupera tumapeni twamupera pasi ya 14 days ale tishapu ekipya katema cha ukashani so mwaona ilo mgobera chintu kushaona ula nebo naka anokupera mapasi ya malasha neditisho nalitene kweli.
Pope Francis says a person's value is not dependent on one's abilities. In a meeting with the disabled children and their caregivers at the Vatican, the Pope said every human person is precious and has value that does not depend on what they have or on their abilities. The Pope underlined that it is important to look at a disabled person as one of us. According to the Catholic News Agency, Pope Francis said the disabled must be at the center of society's care and concern. Bochi Township in Kitwe has continued to experience poor sanitary conditions with leaking sewer pipes. Some residents talked to say the area has broken sewer lines and have called on the relevant authority to look at the plight.
Akamaka pene pame para kuwasa kumala fiso kuna abaposa muzoveza mukufwasa kafya kuwasa turakwata problem mustama hizi kunuka kula chiramo sana ila kusema kwa kufuasa para kokora kata tulifuasa ndafwe so turakwata problem so kama tuweze kulala chakula kimu mnamu kitako kufu mnamu kuliko so abanjwa ina na muzako tutulia pansi.
And Buch Ward Councillor Manda Masoka said the issue of broken sewer lines in the area would be worked on soon.
Yesterday we were blocking some sewer with Nkana water. Though I was not there, we were communicating. I would like them to come again because we had quite a number of house numbers that were blocked.
Former Parliamentary Chief Whip Stephen Chungu has advised members of Parliament to detach politics when dealing with parliamentary business. Mr. Chungu, the former Parliamentary Chief Whip, said he has noted with concern that Parliament is divided on political lines. He said the members of Parliament from both the ruling party and the opposition should support progressive motions in the best interest of the nation. Mr. Chungu said MPs should learn to debate impartially, regardless of their political affiliation. He spoke to Radio Echenglo News in Wansha.
It's the same thing that is happening. I thought the UPND, who then were the opposition, were the ones that made a lot of noise so that we could move away from that practice. But I'm seeing them doing the same thing again. So it's quite saddening that what happened then is still what is still happening now. And I'm not seeing any change. Because I've been following up even question time, vice president's question time. I mean, the type of answers that have been given, it's politics all the time. It's politics all the time in the House.
Some stakeholders are waiting to see how the new government will administer the Public Order Act ahead of the Kabwata constituency by-election and other two wards. The Electoral Commission of Zambia ECZ has set January 20, 2022 as the date for the parliamentary and local government by-elections in Kabwata constituencies in Lusaka and Lingati ward in Senanga and Sokontwe ward of Milenge district. And anti-voter apathy project AVAP is among the stakeholders waiting to see how police will conduct themselves when campaigns begin. AVAP Executive Director Michwa Mlwani was hopeful that there will be a level playing field for all the political parties that will take part in the by-elections.
You know, the PNG, being the one that are in the court of power, will be able to lead by an example to ensure that the Public Order Act is not abused, which is, it's actually administered in a very fair, very transparent manner. And this is why we always call for political parties to sit down with the police and come up with the campaign timetable. And that is always given. And once that is given, it must be followed. And we don't want to see a situation where the president that now, gallivanting all over, going in this direction, coming in this direction, to make others, political parties fail to campaign, even minister. We expect that they're going to respect the campaign timetable so that each and every political party is given that space to engage the voters and then to reach for vote.
An engineer of Mopani Mine, Joseph Silwamba, has proposed that first aid training be added to the driving lessons curriculum to prevent deaths during road accidents. Mr. Silwamba, who is engineering superintendent at Mopani Copper Mines, said lack of knowledge on first aid among drivers sometimes lead to increased deaths during accidents. Speaking during the Road Safety Trust Forum in Ndola at the weekend, Mr. Silwamba said first aid training can help to save lives. He told the forum that the Road Transport and Safety Agency should work with the Ministry of Health in ensuring that people being issued with driver's licenses are competent in first aid matters.
They have first aid boxes, but the people, the drivers or the conductors trained in first aid, find they are not. So my proposal is that the Ministry of Health, Zambia Road Safety Trust, and RATSA, they must collaborate and bring in first aid training as people undergo driving lessons, and they will only be issued with a driver's license if they've got enough knowledge on first aid training as well. Thank you.
In sports, Mufulira Magnets basketball club star Amos Chipasha has called for more support to the sport. Chipasha, commonly known as Tilo, said support from the media and the corporate world was key to making basketball popular in Zambia. The former Ndola Takers player said he wants to see more people follow basketball in the country. Chipasha spoke to Radio Channel Sports in Ndola.
I'm grateful and thank you so much. We were just crying out for more support where media and radio is involved, we need to grow the community for basketball. People are so much glued into football. They've forgotten that we also have other sports in Zambia that have been driving a huge number of people in the community at large. So our focus is to grow the community.
This news broadcast comes to you in the community service of Radio Chimbala with compliments of Mos Mele. And now international news as monitored from the BBC. A group of Russian scientists have arrived in South Africa to study the new corona variant, Omicron. Russia's foreign ministry has tweeted a video of the team's arrival, adding that the plane was also carrying a mobile laboratory. The arrival comes days after South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa invited experts from different countries to join the country's scientists to study the new variant and its mutation. South Africa has seen a rise in coronavirus infections, which have been attributed to the Omicron variant, which was first detected in the country last month. Here's the BBC with more stories from around the world.
A US congressional committee investigating the assault on the Capitol in January has voted to recommend that the former White House Chief of Staff, Mark Meadows, be charged with criminal contempt of Congress. He had refused to testify before the committee, citing Donald Trump's claim of executive privilege. The Republican Liz Cheney is the committee's vice chair.
Mr. Chairman, I move that the committee favorably report to the House the committee's report on a resolution recommending that the House of Representatives find Mark Randall Meadows in contempt of Congress for refusal to comply with a subpoena duly issued by the Select Committee to investigate the January 6th attack on the United States Capitol.
The British Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, will face a significant revolt within his own party today when the House of Commons votes on new coronavirus restrictions for England. Dozens of Conservative MPs have criticised the rules on mask wearing and vaccine passes, saying they damage public freedoms, leaving the Prime Minister dependent on support from the opposition Labour Party. Here's our political correspondent, Rob Watson.
The opposition Labour Party is making clear it's supporting the measures, not the government, and it accuses Boris Johnson of undermining these measures because they say that he's lost the trust of the British people through these parties that were held in Downing Street at the end of last year when there were restrictions. And of course, in the British system, it's just really bad for a government to have its policies only go through thanks to the opposition.
Diplomats from Britain, France and Germany have warned that no real negotiations over the 2015 nuclear deal with Iran have been able to take place as Tehran was raising new positions inconsistent with the agreement.
On that note, we end this afternoon's main news on Radio Chingalo. For these and more stories, feel free to visit the Radio Chingalo Facebook page. You can as well listen to Radio Chingalo online on www.radiochingalo.org. Rather, remember, COVID-19 is real. Follow the COVID-19 protocols. Get vaccinated if you can. Remember to wear a mask in public. Avoid large groups and maintain social distance. Avoid unnecessary movements and always remember to frequently wash your hands. On behalf of the entire news team, my name is Kennedy Mbeo Jr. Have yourself a lovely Tuesday afternoon. The next news broadcast will be the news summary at 16. Thank you very much. Thank you.